Hello, folks. How you doing today? So, real quick, I was given a subscriber question on Saturday, I think, and I haven't had a chance to get to it, so I wanted to answer it this morning. A couple of things. First and foremost, not in our normal studio. We are out traveling, enjoying ourselves, and hence doing this recording from a hotel room. So, sorry about the lighting. Maybe the sound's a little off, but we're going to give it a shot because, again, I owe you some daily content. So do me a favor, if you've been watching these for a while, seen a couple, hit that subscribe button, like, and of course, leave a comment because this particular video is because I got a comment from a subscriber. They just went below in this video and asked a question. If you happen to have a question you want me to tackle, again, go to the comments, type out your question. I'm the only one that sees this channel, at least the admin side, and thus I will look at it daily. And if I see a comment and a question that I can answer, I will create a video for you just like this one. So this question was from someone who said, "Hey, tell me your thoughts. Give me your experience, if any, with Opendoor, Zillow, and Roofstock." So the question really came from this individual, a little bit framed around Opendoor. They were seeing Opendoor in their market essentially buying inventory at ARV in their email or in their comment, excuse me. And then they were simply putting it back on the multiple listing service for, in their words, 10K higher, right, or above market. That's really was framed around that question. They gave the example of Opendoor, and then they threw in, hey, tell me about Zillow and Roofstock. So I have some history with all three. I have researched them all. I've looked into what they're doing, and I have I guess I'll call my opinions, because obviously I should do a lot more research and all of that. But again, I was asked for my opinion, so I thought I would give it to you. So first off, if we go to Opendoor, which was really what this question came down to, um, their model appears to be essentially a huge scale of, I don't know, a combination wholesaler, flipper in any market. They have basically brought technology and deep, deep pockets to buy inventory quickly. It would not shock me if they are a huge proponent of Google AdWords, if they're running huge blog posts and all this other content, because what they are essentially trying to do is they're trying to be the first person getting to the seller before the seller goes anywhere else. So I think it's a very interesting business model. It's very tech and dollar heavy. Um, I have to imagine it is they're getting lots and lots of leads. Where they have to be careful, and I'm sure they are, is they have to focus on markets. Right? They can't scale too quickly because that could hurt. I do wonder what happens to their model because really it's not their cash, right? It's borrowed. What happens if the market really turns? Because you could get over your skis very, very quickly if you're betting the market's going up 5% and the market goes down 5%. So I think Opendoor, um, it's a business model being executed by thousands of people across the country. They're just bringing technology and dollars to the market at a scale like no other. So I think it's very interesting. I do worry about their model when the market turns. They could be forced to exit because they run out of access to capital. They have too much inventory. They only have one exit, which is a sale. And if there's too much inventory online, I just go back to my experience in 2009 and 10. Frankly, you wouldn't want to be Opendoor in 9 and 10 when you were buying in 7 and 8. You would literally, the interest would kill you. Other than that, right, if the market stays going up, if it's still a seller's market, they're going to crush it. If the market's flat and they're using their data and learning what's working, I think they survive just fine. If the market turned and the consumer stopped buying while they kept buying, it could kill them, right? They could just consume all their capital, have no way to exit because it doesn't seem like they're buying to rent, right? They're buying to sell. And if the market for selling dries up, they're in trouble. So that's my thoughts on Opendoor. Zillow. Zillow is an interesting one. I looked at this when they made their announcement, right? When they essentially went from being an ad company to being a home buyer, right? Because they really did switch their business model and their stock got crushed for it when they announced. But I really think what Zillow is trying to do, And I think I think it's a genius move, and I did not appreciate this out of the gate. And I did a video on this, I think, 2 or 3 months ago. Um, I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to build up a big data warehouse or database or whatever you want to call it about housing, because they've always had the Z estimates and all of that, which you know in general is okay, but don't trust it. But now what they're doing is they're actually putting skin in the game. They're buying homes, they're looking to sell, and they're losing money, right? Some of the records I saw from the first 90 days, they lost a lot of money. But my guess is they have a whole set of teams going behind the scenes, changing their models and learning from their actuals. So yes, I suspect them to have a lot of pain in the beginning, but I can only imagine how much more informed they're going to be and how much better they're going to be. I believe a little bit like Opendoor, where if the market turned quickly, it could really, really hurt them. But if the market's going up or sideways, I think Zillow could really learn and crush this. And oh, by the way, it could get to a point where they're selling the data, right? If they do, I don't know, 10,000, 20,000 homes, and they go from a success rate of 8 in 10 to 9.8 in 10, I think they're going to have data and metrics to sell and really be something of something to follow and watch. So they could be a whole nother revenue stream for them. So I think Zillow has bigger plans. I don't think it was appreciated or understood by the market, and myself included, when they announced it. But again, I think there's someone to watch, because I see them having a plan for decades to come. So Zillow is definitely something I'm watching because I like what they're doing. And then as far as Roofstock goes, just so we're clear, I actually have an interview on this channel with the VP of Roofstock. I actually visited with Roofstock in Oakland. I think I've just written a blog for them, and they actually recommended my book as one of the top 10 real estate books. So just to be clear, I have a relationship with Roofstock, at least at some level. No money's ever exchanged hands, because I don't take that. But we've had some meetings and we've had some conversations, and we did an interview for this channel. That said, I see Roofstock as it's kind of an exchange, right? The things that they do are very valuable. They evaluate essentially turnkey providers in different markets to make sure that the inventory being created is to standard. And then what they do is they market to buyers who don't have time to research and say, hey, come here, come to Roofstock and look at what we have for sale. It's basically a easy way to build your buy and hold inventory across the country. They take a lot of the risk out of it because they are doing evaluations and reports and all of that things. I don't know how they get paid because I didn't ask, but my guess is they're getting fees from the seller, right? Just like a real estate agent, they would get a commission there. And they may get a small fee from the buyer during the transaction. I do not know. Never done that. But I do think Roofstock is interesting. I think Roofstock plays in any market, right? Because they don't have any of their money other than this employees and technology out there. But as far as the inventory goes, it's not theirs. Their job is to be the quality control team. Their job is to be the marketing engine. Their job is to facilitate transactions. So they're not putting any of their capital into the inventory. So if the market crashed, not hurt. Frankly, their business probably takes off, right? If the market goes up, again, they don't get hurt by that because, again, no inventory there. So I think it's very interesting. I think all companies, Opendoor, Zillow, and Roofstock, really see that the real estate game has been too singularly focused, mom and pop, individual buyer, real estate agent, real estate brokers, and they're all going after the market in bigger ways. So I like this question. It was a lot of fun. I read several articles on each coming into this. So let me know what you think. What do you think of Opendoor, Zillow, and Roofstock? I'd love to hear from you. Have you used any of them? I'd love to hear from you. And of course, have a great day and take care. Thank you very much.